All right, we're going to continue to talk about future events. Why am I talking so much about big events, shifts? Because we're having shifts in consciousness. It affects everything around us. I want you to understand this because as we go through more events, some of them are just the same things we've been going through, we can respond differently. And I'm going to tell you how we can actually change so much on this planet just through our response. But I want to talk about those events. Why do they come? What are they? I want you to prepare for them because there's nothing to fear, my friend. Nothing to fear. We're in it together, and you can do so much to shift out of fear. I'm going to tell you how to do that right now. Let's go. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears, live an amazing life. As I speak to you, a hurricane is on its way to my area. Now, whether it hits or not, we have to come together as communities when these things happen because this now goes beyond our own personal actions. In other words, violence, wars, hoarding, all these things we can change within our own communities. But what happens when we have those big events that are going to affect all of us in a massive way that we seem to have no control over? Now, I want you to know something. Even the American Indians and many other beautiful indigenous tribes for centuries have documented their relationship with nature. And we have some very interesting demonstrations of how things have shifted and changed. Now, how much we have control over this, no one has those answers because everything is energy and we cannot infringe on free will. In other words, we cannot infringe on anything out there or another person, nature, or anything else without its participation with us. So if you have free will, and you want to get in touch with somebody and you envision it and they call you, they may not be that ex that says, oh, I want to get back with you. They may just think about you, but never pick up that phone. So there is that relationship and their decision whether or not they want to participate with you. And that's why you should never infringe on somebody's free will. You can't. It will actually come back to you very negatively. It's not going to be the kind of response you want, all right? But if you open yourself up to things in a positive way without trying to control it, then it has an opportunity to respond with you because now you have put a directive into the quantum field. The weather is the same thing. All these things you're going to see starting to happen. The same thing. Now, somebody said, so, we have these storms, they go straight around us. There's a legend of an Indian princess who protects this area. Well, you know what? A hurricane's a hurricane. It has its own path. So whether that happens or not, my desire to have it deviate will be in my prayers. But what I don't want to do is have it deviate to harm somebody else. Somebody said, well, what if the hurricane last year, what if the hurricane goes and hits somebody else instead? I said, that's not what I'm wishing for. So if you wish, and by the way, this is in many, many books. I know that the Silva method, which is just, it's a mind control method, your own mind control, states that you should never wish for anything negative on somebody so that something will open up for you. In other words, you don't wish for your boss to have a horrible day and get fired so that you'll get his position. Why? Because that is negative energy and that goes in the directive, and you're actually telling the universe that doesn't judge that that's where you are on a frequency, and therefore you're in the basement with everybody else down there doing nasty stuff and trying to survive. As we go through these events, our community is going to be so important. Yesterday I went and got sandbags. Everybody was so nice, organized. Of course, they're Floridians who know this routine. And helping one another, very orderly, went very quickly, and I realized when we learn how to work together, we're much more powerful. You don't want to be out there alone in any way, shape, or form, and if you continue to alienate people, well, you're going to be sitting there by yourself with no one to call when times get tough. Community is important, and when we start to accept one another for what and who we are, and we allow each other to look a certain way, dress a certain way, have our own opinions, how we want to conduct our lives. We become so powerful because every one of us has amazing skills. What are the big events coming? A huge typhoon just hit. There are much worse events than the hurricane that we're going to see coming through here in Florida. These things are going to continue more and more. As humans, we progress, we get older, things change, nothing stays static. The planet is no different. So if the planet isn't taking care of herself, right, well then she is going to be unhealthy. If we don't take care of our bodies, we're going to be unhealthy. And so that future is going to look very different. This is no difference, but except for she's not doing it, we are. So we have that control. So the healthier we are with our planet, the more we can contribute to her health. And thus, the things that we're going to see in the future will lessen. Now, that has been happening for centuries. Predictions have not come through to pass. And a lot of people, they'll stick to Casey and Nostradamus and, oh, this is going to happen. All predictions are warnings of where we are. And if we don't like it, we change it. So instead of going to fear, which is what most people do, they go into fear that this is going to happen. They don't accept the fact that they can change the future. We can lessen things. We learn from things. And we have to stop naming anything good or bad, right? Good or bad, what is it? I broke a strap on my dress. Okay, well, I have to get my sewing kit. I've never used it. I've been looking for safety pins. Where is that case of safety pins that I used to have in my bathroom? I go into the sewing kit that I haven't used in years. There's the safety pins right there. Oh, now I have this, and it continues on and on. Is this bad or is it good? So many things will unfold here that are going to bring us to opportunities for amazement. I know this sounds painful to you. There's nothing in these situations that require struggle. Struggle is when you battle something that may happen or that is happening and you say it shouldn't be. When you go into a state of peace, or you will go into a state of peace, when you look at the situation and you say, you know what, it doesn't matter if it's a hurricane or a typhoon or whatever else. As these things occur, who am I in it? Or am I going to go into a state of pain and struggle and opposing my neighbor or the community, trying to protect myself in a world that you can never protect yourself, because there is a finality to your role here. Not you, a finality to your role. So that energy field of which you are is going to have to deal with the negativity, and you're going to have to look and say, I could have helped that person. I could have given that food to somebody else. I could have done with less, or opened my doors to somebody. This is going to be required. Again, I don't want to instill any fear in you, because most of the things you're going to see are just things have been through for centuries. You know, it's hurricane season here. What's happening with our planet is, because we're going to a higher frequency, we're going into consciousness, things will change that are going to allow us to be a completely new community. And we signed up for this. You have always been. You always will be. If you are concerned and you're going in fear, I want to ask you, fear of what? This is the tough part. This is the true test, the master class. How you behave in it is ultimately important for you right now. I can't express that enough. We must, in this time, go into creation, solutions, giving, and not focused on me and what am I going to do and what am I going to get. You will get all those things, and you do have to take care of yourself. Of course, this is not the time for you to go into lack. We can all live an abundant, amazing life. When you go into fear, you contribute toward that which you don't desire. You're so powerful. So the events, yes, they're going to continue on. I've heard all kinds of things going on out there, and I don't even watch the news, of how unusual weather behaviors and patterns are happening beyond our control. So if you'd like to break through fear, I have a free masterclass. If you are dealing with this and you're struggling with it, you have to know certain things, and I'm here to help teach you that. It is my mission to help people to break through fear. I actually have a lifelong membership if you really want to go into it. But this, if you sign up for my email list, you will get either the second or third email. you will get invited into the free 1-hour masterclass. And I've had people tell me that the masterclass alone has absolutely changed them. You're in control. Do not go into the fear. Observe it. It's part of the human experience. The events out there, you deal with them as they show up. You live your life to the fullest, not for what may or may not happen in the future, but what you can do today, because what you do today counts. So I hope you'll subscribe, share this. This is my message, that it is time. It's the tipping point. We're going into consciousness. There will be many that don't, but that is not your concern. You just have to be of service to others, whether they accept it or not, no matter what they believe. We're not here to argue our points. Your reality is true, as is mine. Let us go into love and compassion. Let us give and open our arms to a community in the best way possible. And if you feel fear, observe it and ask yourself, what's the story I'm telling myself to cause that pain? All right? These are free videos. We are creating online businesses. We're remote. Things happen out there. We've got computers until something happens with that. Maybe not in our lifetime. And we're creating, doing good things for the planet. You want to join us? Check it out. It's school, yeah. And then, of course, subscribe, get my free emails. I have a big event in October called the Transformation Event. If you go to my website and you go into the store, you'll see that. So click on the store, come on over, and it's 3 hours, and then it's a 1-year training and replay that you can use over and over again. 3.5 hours with me live. Transformation. I hope to see you there. I think it's going to be wonderful. It's going to take you into a very powerful place to transform your life. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. I'm counting on you. You're amazing. You're perfect. Blessings. Namaste.